Hello there, everyone, and welcome to Know Your Enemy, the series that is going to teach you the fundamentals on how to fight each different god that exists within Smite. Today, we are going to start with Hebo, the god of the Yellow River. So, before I can tell you how to best fight against Hebo, it's very important that you understand what it is Hebo can do. So let's start by talking about Hebo's abilities. Hebo's passive simply just gives him additional magical power as long as he is pressing his abilities. The buff gives Hebo a stacking power buff that will give him at most an additional 15% of their magical power, assuming they are spamming at least one ability every 5 seconds. Hebo's first ability is called Water Cannon, and it is a short-ranged cone attack that deals high damage on a very short cooldown. Hebo's second ability lays out a fancy water carpet that makes all of Hebo's allies immune to slowing effects, and increases their movement speed, all while making Hebo's enemies move slower. Hebo's third ability knocks all enemies in a circle up into the air, dealing a significant amount of damage and setting him up for future attacks. Finally, Hebo's ultimate is a combination of both a dash and a line attack. Basically, Hebo turns into this giant, crowd control immune wave and sprints forward, dealing an insane amount of damage to anyone who gets caught in the way. So now that we hopefully understand Hebo's abilities just a little bit better, let me show you what Hebo players are looking to do so that you can attempt to play around it. The most notorious combos that Hebo can do all branch from him setting himself up using his third ability, the knock-up. The moment you get knocked up, you are at Hebo's mercy. Typically, you see Hebo players knock you up, then go for either a hard-hitting first ability for additional poke, or an all-in kill attempt by using their ultimate ability, followed by the water cannon to finish the job if you did manage to live that long. Outside of the knock-up combos, Hebo cannot be impacted by the use of slows. It is very important to remember that. Hebo can immune all slowing effects with his magic carpet. As such, if you are looking for gods that will be able to fight into Hebo, you want to choose gods that have crowd control that prevent Hebo from taking any movement, such as roots or stuns. The final thing you are going to need to be wary of whenever you see a Hebo on the map is that Hebo players love to pick up Blink as one of their relics. Blink allows Hebo to magically appear in front of you, and we all know what happens when Hebo gets the opportunity to land on top of a player. And it's never pretty. So now that I've told you all the magical ways that Hebo is going to break your head, let's talk about what we can do to counter Hebo. Hebo, like most mages, struggles the most in the early game, before he can get most of his high power items bought to deal the most damage. My recommendation is to look to try and get Hebo behind whenever you can, and attempt to snowball away from him. But, knowing that we have a lot of Arena, Joust, and Clash players here, that strategy is not always going to work, so let's talk about some more solutions. As I've mentioned, outside of Hebo's third ability, he needs to be at a very close range in order to deal damage. This is an exploitable flaw. Every time the Hebo steps up, you can look to hit them with roots and stuns, as I had mentioned earlier. These abilities are going to force Hebo to take unwanted damage, and in a really good scenario, the Hebo might even have to use their ultimate ability to run away, rather than to kill you. Yet, as you might have noticed, if the Hebo knows how to position themselves, this strategy also won't work. So what else can we do? The final thing we can do in this case is to look to pick up different relics and items that are going to allow us to survive. If you are playing support for your team, a good relic to pick up is called Magic Shell. It places a shield on all allies around you that will help the more squishy allies live a little bit longer. In the same train of thought, supports can also build into items such as Heartward Amulet and Gauntlet of Thebes, in order to gift some magical protections to all allies that stand near you. Now, if you're playing a more damage-oriented build path, I would definitely recommend picking up the Aegis Amulet relic, which makes you immune to all damage for a short period of time. Even with Aegis's very long cooldown, surviving every third Hebo ultimate is better than dying to every single Hebo ultimate. Now, another great item to consider for those of you that are playing mages specifically is called Book of the Dead. It is a relatively high power item that gives you a health shield whenever your HP starts getting low, allowing you to take more punishment than you would have been able to otherwise. The other thing that every single team can do in order to defeat Hebo is recognize that, at the end of the day, Hebo is a squishy mage. And if you coordinate yourselves and work as a team, a little bit of crowd control to set up for a kill will allow you to quickly remove this behemoth from the map. And that is how you should be playing against Hebo. I hope these tips help you survive against the water cannon mage. If you have any additional tips, leave them in the comments section down below. And if you want to continue to learn how to both play and build within Smite right now, click on that video on your screen, and I'm going to see you there. Have a great day.